Of course. So I've worked in contact centres for the last 13 to 15 years. I've worked with small, medium and large contact centres. So I know a lot about call handling and how you route calls, etc. I went on maternity exactly a year ago today to have a baby. After I'd had my baby daughter, it would have been around about 3 months in, I realised that actually going back to work full time, doing a 45 to 50-hour week, simply wasn't something that I wanted to do now that I have my little one. So I went through the normal channels with my employer in terms of asking for flexible working. Unfortunately, that wasn't something that they were able to accommodate. And so I started to look at other options around. Looking for part-time work wasn't necessarily, there didn't seem to be an awful lot of roles out there on a part-time basis that would still give me the challenge that I wanted and enable me to still use my brain, how I know I can still use it and, you know, be able to develop business. Part-time roles, predominantly in the area where I work in, are very much sort of working within a school. And so you're quite restricted in terms of what you can do for that school or for that business. So I decided to put my money where my mouth is, so to speak. And I've always looked at businesses and I've always developed businesses within my role and thought, well, why don't I just try and do it for myself? At least all my hard work, my sweat and blood is all going to come back and be of a value to me rather than to somebody else or to some large organisation moving forward. So the success for me was how I view it is I know that I'm making steps forward now. I've spoken to people that I've never spoken to before. I've reconnected with people that I know from almost 10 years ago. And it's amazing that, you know, to really understand it, I have such a pool of knowledge, etc., that I can tap into. And coming from a sales background, it's nice to feel that I can sell something, but it's all based on quality and service, which I think it makes things a lot easier. And for me, that's success. I'm doing what I want to be doing and I'm enjoying doing it. I've come up against some big challenges, the website being one of them, but actually, as painful as it's been really nice getting to the end of it and having that sense of achievement of, right, that's done, what's the next task? And going back and looking through your plan, that's been brilliant, knowing that I'm moving forward, how far I've come and how much further I've got to go as well. So I've got a defined business now. I know exactly what it is in terms of the services. I've got my setup and my structure of my business. So I would say, you know, I'm 3/4 of the way towards the end of the first stage of the journey of having it set up and running. And I think that the course and all the information in the videos that are part of the course, they all help you to start working towards that point where you think, actually, I've got a business now. It's not just an idea. It's not things that are on paper. It actually feels like I've got something tangible from this. Whereas at the beginning, when you've paid your money and you've got your program, you're in a bit of a hole, I think, because you think, right, I've got all of this and where do I start? And your plan that you provide enables you to do that really easily. There are bits that within your plan that I thought that's going to take me longer because of the person that I am, not necessarily because it hasn't been thought of properly through the plan. And so I've done a bit of skipping the hard bits, doing some nice bits that I like doing, and then going back and really putting my head down and doing some of the stuff that I'm not going to enjoy, but it has to be done. And I think, you know, that's the beauty of the beast of having a business, isn't it? You know, you like the business, you like the bits that you do, and there are always going to be bits that aren't so nice for you, that you don't enjoy so much. It makes me feel a lot more confident because I've right when you're right at the beginning, as I say, it's very much an idea. And so, you know, telling my husband that I'm going to do this and it's all going to be fine, and don't worry, I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to lose us our house or anything like that. It's nice being able to show that all the things that, you know, I've done for other people in the past, actually I can do for myself, and I've got the confidence to do it without having a massive corporate team behind me, which is what I've always had. I would have had somebody else in the office that I could have got them to put their eyes over something, and actually I think it's made me more confident and probably me a little bit more demanding on myself now as well, because actually I don't want to show people things until it's almost 99% perfect now, because it's that's a, you know, that's the impression that they're going to have of me, is that work that I've done. So it's I like that I'm now confident in my ability to do this, and that confidence I hope will continue. So my next steps at the moment are, I've applied for my business bank account. So I'm currently working my way through my business plan. And so my next steps really are, I've got a couple of customers that are prospective. It's now time for me to try and start find other leads. I've got 1 or 2 people that have spoken to me and are likely to come on board, but I now need to find a stream where I can regularly get referrals from, or that I know that there's a pot there that I can dip into when I want to. And that, I think that's going to be my next big challenge for me, is finding that list of referrals or those leads.